Okay, so we have our speakers on the stage, so I would like to start with the second segment. I want us to think about the future we are trying to shape for Pakistan. As a student of development studies, I often reflect that how each country's path to development is unique. Simply replicating what else worked for the other countries is rarely enough. So there is no single formula that fits all. For Pakistan, we must think that what critical skills and systems we need to empower youth, to unlock innovation, and guarantee that every citizen has equal opportunities and resources. Access to equal opportunities and resources. Basically, this is an issue of access. If we talk about the children, we are discussing education in the last segment, and all of us, I think, know that around 28 million students are out of schools. They don't have access to books. So when we talk about digitalization, we talk about digital classrooms. First, we need to address the issue of children that are out of schools. And this is 27 or 28 million children we are talking about. So, as a student of development studies, I always think that how do I see Pakistan in next 30 years? So, I envision Pakistan as a more just, equitable, and sustainable society. The next 30 years will bring unprecedented opportunities in emerging technologies, in new economic models, and future-ready skills. But how do we ensure that these opportunities will lead to a more just society? So I will open the forum to the students we already have on the stage that what does a better Pakistan look like in 30 years to you? And also try to address that what are the essential skills you think that we should have right now, we should invest in those skills. So one of you, who will start?
I will.
Okay.
So my name is Muskan Mozam, and I'll be speaking about on how, on the coming 30 years, what will Pakistan look like. So it is a matter of great prestige for me to start off the discussion on the topic of a future of Pakistan that might look like in 30 years from now in terms of skills, the motivation we need, the opportunities, and what measures are needed to achieve that future, especially in the terms of, in the light of emerging technologies like AI and uh, the downturn economic and climate change crisis. So from 30 years from now onwards, it will be 2055 and Pakistan will be well over 100 years old. Will it be having the same problems it faces today, or will it be a Pakistan that would be first of safe and vestige of the harmony for all the people living in it? Would it be a country where women will excel without fear, and where communities in collaboration with communities in collaboration with smart government policies would be able to tackle the challenge of climate change? Where it is placed as a center of region and a global technological regional connectivity, where it is respected in the Committee of Nations as a responsible and important global actor, where economic growth will be sustainable and ample opportunities for the youth of the country to excel, where youth will be considered as not as an opportunity, but not as a silver lining, but not as a liability. Where the youth is not only equipped with the necessary skills to survive, but excel in the most important skills of the emerging technologies like AI, and they will be creators of and innovators of the opportunities and growth. So, and also where the difference of opinion is also accepted and encouraged, where people live because they have to, not because they have to, but because they want to. A place which is safe and they're secure for our children and their children to come. So, yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you, Muskan. So next we have Azim.
मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है सबको? अच्छा, मेरा इस पे जो पर्सपेक्टिव है वो थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है। वो ऐसे कि मैं जहाँ तक स्किल्स की बात है, तो स्किल्स में मैं ये समझता हूँ कि जो 30 ईयर के बाद जो पाकिस्तान आ रहा है, तो अभी से अगर हम कुछ सर्टेन चीज़ों पे काम करें, जिसमें सबसे जो टॉप पे है वो वर्क एथिक्स है। हम लोगों ने मतलब ओवरऑल हम सोसाइटी की बात करें तो नीचे से लेकर ऊपर तक एक मसीहा फिगर है हमारे हम सबके पास, ठीक है, जिसका हम जो है सारा बर्डन उसी पे डाल देते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल अभी हम खाना शाना खा के आए हैं, तो बाहर हमने सब ने किया होगा कि यार ये गार्बेज में यहाँ पे डाल देता हूँ, कोई ना कोई आके साफ कर देगा। तो यहाँ से जब तक हम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी यहाँ से नहीं उठाएंगे तो हम 30 ईयर्स तक नहीं सोच सकते, ठीक। सो वर्क एथिक्स, उसके बाद एम्पैथी है, एम्पैथी है, जो है मेंटल हेल्थ है, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस है। उसके बाद बाकी ये जो सारी चीज़ें आ जाती हैं, एआई आ गई, कोडिंग आ गई, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप आ गई, ये आपके करियर्स हैं, ठीक है, वो आपको अर्न करके देंगे। पर सबसे पहले हमें ज़रूरत इस चीज़ की है, क्योंकि हम अल्टीमेटली जो है वो दोष देते हैं एक किस्म का, वो गवर्नमेंट को देते हैं या किसी न किसी के ऊपर डाल देते हैं कि ऐसे इसकी वजह से ये सोसाइटी या हमारा सिस्टम ख़राब है इसकी वजह से। बट हम ये नहीं देखते कि हम कहाँ पे हैं, हम कहाँ पे खड़े हैं। सो मेरा ये ख्याल है कि सबसे पहले तो हमें इन पे काम करना चाहिए। दूसरी बात ये कि मैं अगर तो इन चीज़ों पे अभी से काम हो रहा है तो नेक्स्ट 30 ईयर्स में मैं पाकिस्तान को एक सेक्युलर, एक ज़िम्मेदार और एक प्रोडक्टिव कंट्री देख रहा हूँ, जहाँ पे मेरी औरत आज़ाद होगी, मेरी औरत एम्पावर्ड होगी, ठीक है, जो अपनी ज़िम्मेदारी खुद उठा सकती है, किसी के ऊपर रिलाय नहीं करेगी। आप बाकी के कंट्रीज़ देखें, चाइना हमारे पास है, करीब है, तो वहाँ पे आप जाके देखें तो आज की औरत वहाँ पे एम्पावर्ड है। वो बाहर निकल के ये उसको फियर नहीं होता कि कोई मुझे हरास तो नहीं करेगा, कोई मोबाइल नहीं छीन जाएगा। तो ये वाली चीज़ें वहाँ पे नहीं है। दैट्स इट।
Thank you, Azim. Thank you. Now we have Gulmina from the Millennium Universal College.
Hello everyone, it's Gulmina this side. I know you guys like are bored. पीछे मुझे दिख रहा है सारा. You guys are just sitting for the sake of it. Please bear with me for this point. Right now, the main question is what I see. Like what I see कि पाकिस्तान 30 साल के बाद क्या होगा? For me, the first point is law. Law should not just be stated; it should be implemented. जब ये law implement होगा, there would be more industries, more investments, more job opportunities, right? And this would empower our youth. आजकल का हर बच्चा, even यहाँ पे भी 90% I would bet on this, including myself. If we are given the opportunity right now to go to another foreign country in Europe, in anywhere in the world, we'll go. Because I would say कि हम अब अपनी country पे इतना trust ही नहीं कर रहे. So I think this is it. This is one thing I would say कि हम अगर 30 साल में पाकिस्तान को more, empowered youth, the first point, second would be law, and the third, of course, is industries. We need more industry, more investments.
Okay, next we have Aslan.
So, hello everyone. My name is Ajjan Bas, and you can see I'm from Lawrence College. So, we all know that obviously the country in 30 years will be in our control. We will be responsible for it, and we have to work for it. But not after 30 years. We have to decide now what we have to do for Pakistan, and we have to start today, right now, this moment. We have to decide what will be better for our country, and we have to do that with full commitment. So first of all, the first thing, we have to modernize ourselves. Like the modern businesses today, they are very large businesses abroad. We can see drop shipping. We can see a special interest of our youth, our Gen Z in today Pakistan. A lot of people have heard about Bitcoin, crypto. So I think that teachers, lecturers from abroad should be brought here. They should be brought here from outside Pakistan, so they can teach crypto, they can teach online businesses, they can teach Bitcoin, how to trade online. That will help bring the abroad income in Pakistan. That will help our currency, that will help the students to learn and grow in the online world. So that's my first opinion about the betterment of Pakistan in 30 years. Moreover, we have to be, you can say, I am from Right House in my college, and our motto is unity is strength. So if the people of Pakistan are united, they are one, they are a single unit, they can work together and finish all the problems Pakistan is facing today. We see political parties fighting. One day this man is arrested, other day that man is arrested. We have to finish this, become a single unit and fight for our country. You all remember Bunyan al-Marsoos. That day we all were one, and we not just banged India physically, we were mentally strong and prepared to do whatever for our country.
So Gen Z, this is your chance to imagine boldly and think about how your generation can shape the Pakistan we all dream of. And nobody else from the outer world will come and teach you. You have to decide your path yourself. This is what I said in the start, that every development path is different. Every country faces different difficulties and they overcome with their own solutions. You have to come up with the solutions, right? So you don't have to wait for any messiah or someone from the West or from the outer world or China. Maybe now people have started thinking about China will teach you the development path. It's not going to happen. So take the responsibility. Start thinking about the 30 years from now. And for the second question, I would like to ask you, what skills do you think are essential for you?
Excuse me. T. Mary University did not
Yeah,
answer
yeah,
the
please.
first. Yes. I'm Rahat Irshad, and I'll
You
be,
have to designate
yes,
someone, right?
yes, I'll be passing on this question to Laiba Khan.
What does a better Pakistan look like in 30 years, Laiba? Mike, please say them.
वो नहीं होते जो हालात का रोना रोते हैं, जीतने वाले वो होते हैं जो हालात बदल देते हैं. सो अगर पाकिस्तान को हर बार ये कहने पे 1 रुपया भी मिलता ना कि ये मुल्क कब बदलेगा, तो शायद आज हम IMF का कर्जा उतार चुके होते हैं. बीइंग जेन ज़ी, हम इन हालात में बड़े हुए हैं कि एक तरफ सिर्फ न्यूज़ में क्राइसिस है और दूसरी तरफ सिर्फ हमारे पास स्कैंडल्स आ रहे हैं. तो अब तक हमें सब ये समझ आ गया कि हमें पाकिस्तान किस तरह का नहीं चाहिए, बट द रियल गेम चेंजर इज हमें किस तरह का पाकिस्तान हम चाहते हैं और बना रहे हैं. तो आई स्ट्रेस अपॉन 3 थिंग्स. द वन इज इनोवेशन, द सेकेंड वन इज सस्टेनेबिलिटी एंड द थर्ड वन इज इक्वालिटी. So, starting from the innovation, अगर 30 years from now, अगर हम काम करें, we have AI labs in Karachi, we have solar farms in Balochistan, and be honest, we have data learning machine systems in Multan. And then we are not exporting mangoes from Multan to other countries, we are also exporting machine learning data centers from Multan. And this is not fancy thing or friction thing. We already in the 4th ranking of freelancing in the world. There are many startups run by the youth. And the second thing is sustainability. So I want you to close your eyes and just imagine a clean, clear and green environment with no fog or smogs on the roads of Lahore, a sustainable buses, electric buses on the roads. And this is not the fancy thing. This is like many cities like Singapore and others planning ahead. Oh, shit. I just want to add a last thing.
Okay.
अगर हम memes बनाते हैं that go viral, तो why not we are making a campaign that go global. I'm ending with this. Thank you so much.
Okay, I would like to ask that what future-proof skills you want and you think that these are the most essential for students. And also if you can say something on which social, economic and technological indicators should we aim to improve as Generation Z. Please, you want to start?
Okay, so we as Gen Z are facing a contradiction. We are expected to fix the world, but we're really given the opportunity or support or accessibility to do so. This gap between awareness and control is what creates burnout for us, and we are constantly aware, but we are also structurally excluded. So we need to ask for whom is the future being built. If it just replicates today's inequalities, it's not progress, it's just exclusion being granted. When talking about today's world and what skills we need, I think it's important to note the role social media plays, and then also how social media is also boxing our creativity. So we're in this echo chamber, we're facing algorithms, and that has also made us box in our identity. Because when creativity is limited, when repetitions and the same content is being created over and over again, that's when our identity is also restricted. So for this to change, we need to focus on critical thinking, obviously, which would help us navigate the plethora of misinformation that exists. Emotional intelligence, again, because we are in this state where we know what we want, but we're unable to go ahead and get it. Design thinking and creativity, again, this is so important for identity building. And then digital and media literacy. This is because shadow economy, economy that is not getting recognized, that's what Gen Z is relying on. So we need all of this. I forget what the second part was. You wanted
That what are the future-proof skills you want?
yeah, I've covered the skills. I think the indicators.
Economic indicators or
yeah,
other indicators?
the indicators, socially, I think it's very important to address inequality. And I would say equity is more important here because access is defined by race, religion, region, and that needs to change. That would be all. Thank you.
Okay, now Muskan, somebody else will talk on your behalf. Okay, Anna, please. So,
थैंक यू मुस्कान आई थिंक रेफरिंग टू द क्वेश्चन कि कौन सी स्किल्स जो हैं वो रेलिवेंट रहेंगी इन द फ्यूचर आई थिंक
I talked about essential, not relevant. You think?
essential skills as well and those that will stay relevant as well in the future. I guess that is the combination of two skills, soft and hard skills. In soft skills, I place three main skills. Again, I'm going to repeat what she said before me. Emotional intelligence, adaptability, and critical thinking. And I'll give you the reasons for them as well. Number one, our world is changing very quickly. हम हर साल देखते हैं कि न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी आती है, पुरानी ऑब्सोलीट हो जाती है. वो लोग जो एक्सपर्ट थे पिछली टेक्नोलॉजी के अंदर वो उनकी डिमांड नहीं रहती. सो एनी बड़ी जो ओपन होगा टू लर्न न्यू थिंग, जो अडॉप्टेबल होगा, जो अडॉप्ट कर लेगा टू न्यू इन्वायरमेंट, एंड नॉट ओनली दैट बल्कि उसको अडॉप्ट करने के बाद दे विल बी एबल टू सिंक्रोनाइज देम टू अदर स्किल्स एज वेल और मेक अ न्यू आउटपुट. वो ये स्किल जो है दैट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड एंड दैट विल रिमेन रेलिवेंट एज वेल इन द फ्यूचर. देन सेकेंड इज क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग. AI आपको डेटा भी दे देगा, AI आपको एनालाइज भी कर देगा, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आपने फाइनल डिसीजन लेना है. और उस फाइनल डिसीजन को लेने के लिए यू नीड टू असेस एवरीथिंग क्रिटिकली, यू नीड टू डू अ कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस. और यहीं पर इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस का भी रोल आता है कि आप उस फैसले के अंदर यू हैव टू लुक एट इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, यू हैव टू मेक अ ह्यूमन डिसीजन. आई विल गिव यू एन एग्जाम्पल. वॉरफेयर में आप AI एम्प्लॉय करते हो, AI आपको कहते हैं एरिया B के ऊपर अटैक करो क्योंकि यहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा आपके एनिमी का नुकसान होगा. बट क्या आप उस पर अटैक करोगे या नहीं करोगे? आप वहाँ पे कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस करोगे, आप क्रिटिकली सोचोगे कि यहाँ पे नॉन कॉम्बेटेंट्स तो नहीं है ज़्यादा, यहाँ पे अगर मैं अटैक करूँगा किस किस्म का रिटेलिएशन मुझे दोबारा मिलेगा, ठीक है, और किस किस्म का ह्यूमन टोल होगा, ये सब चीज़ें आप देख के फिर चलोगे. सो इट इज़ द मैन बिहाइंड द गन दैट इज़ इंपॉर्टेंट. उसके बाद अगर हम हार्ड स्किल्स पर आए तो डिजिटल लिटरेसी, AI स्किल्स, और अगर आपको प्रोग्रामिंग नहीं भी आती तो बेसिक नॉलेज ऑफ AI एल्गोरिदम्स आपको आनी चाहिए. सो बेसिकली इन अ नटशेल, tech awareness combined with human depth is required and will stay relevant. Thank you.
So next from Zebis University.
अच्छा, इस पे मेरा एक थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है, सॉरी. जहाँ तक बात है सोशल स्किल्स की, तो सबसे पहले मैं स्ट्रेस दूंगा सोशल कनेक्टिविटी के ऊपर, टॉलरेंस के ऊपर. अभी हम देख रहे हैं तो टॉलरेंस हमारी सोसाइटी में बेशक वो जनजीज हों या जहाँ बड़े हों, वो कम होती जा रही है, ऐसे ऐसा कम होती जा रही है. मतलब लोगों के अंदर पेशेंस वो रहा ही नहीं है. थोड़ी थोड़ी बातें वो एक फ्रस्ट्रेशन की वो देख रहे हैं. तो एक सोशली एक कनेक्टिविटी, टॉलरेंस, इसके ऊपर हमें स्ट्रेस देना चाहिए. और दूसरी बात ये है कि इकोनॉमिक जो एक फैक्टर है, तो आज आप देखें तो जनजीज वो खुद से अपने वेज क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. अगर आपने वो पेमेंट गेटवेज आपने उनको नहीं दिए तो कहीं पे बाइनांस से वो अपनी पेमेंट्स कर रहा है, कहीं पे बिटकॉइन के थ्रू कर रहा है, बट आपने उसको बंद रखा हुआ है, बट वो अपने रास्ते खुद बना रहा है. ठीक है, तो अगर आप इसको डीपली एनालाइज कर रहे हैं, एनालाइज करें बीइंग अ सिस्टम, तो आपको ना सिर्फ इससे रेवेन्यू मिलेगा बट और ज़्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ खुलेंगी. क्योंकि जनजीज जो हैं वो इस टाइम डिफरेंट सोच रहे हैं. आप डिफरेंट जगह पे हैं, वो डिफरेंट जगह पे हैं. ठीक है, दैट्स वाई मैंने मीम्स का भी मैंने कोट इस वजह से किया कि वो, क्योंकि वो एक प्रॉपर लैंग्वेज है. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि वो जो शेयर कर रहे हैं उस पर हंसना चाहिए. उसका अदर पर्सपेक्टिव भी है, साइकोलॉजिकल पर्सपेक्टिव भी है कि वो डिफरेंट तरीके से सोच रहे हैं. वो एक पूरी लैंग्वेज है. ठीक है, उसके बाद हम टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंडिकेटर्स की अगर हम बात करें तो कहाँ से बात करें? आपने इंटरनेट तो बंद किया हुआ है, तो बाहर निकलें तो इंटरनेट नहीं आ रहा, थोड़ा सा हम आगे जाएं, किसी फ्लंग एरिया में जाएं तो हमारा इंटरनेट नहीं आता। तो यहाँ पे हमारे से ये इशू है, हम तो जा रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल मैं कश्मीर जा रहा हूँ तो वहाँ पे इंटरनेट नहीं आ रहा। तो मैं ये क्यों नहीं सोच रहा हूँ कि वहाँ पे जो जनजीज का कोई एक बंदा बैठा होगा, कोई स्टूडेंट बैठा होगा, उस पर क्या होगा, या गिलगित में जो बैठा होगा, या किसी भी फ्लंग एरिया में, सिंध में, पंजाब में, कहीं पे भी, तो उसके पास अगर इंटरनेट नहीं है तो मैं किसके लिए बात कर रहा हूँ, किस टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंडिकेटर की बात कर रहा हूँ। तो ये बहरहाल ये होना चाहिए। थैंक यू।
Okay, from Lawrence College, who's going to speak?
मैं इस पे I would like to say that the first most important skill anyone, not only Gen Z, the most important in my opinion is the communicating. How you communicate with others, how you talk to others. क्योंकि अब यहाँ पे मैं श्योर हूँ कि मतलब अभी मैं इनको कहूँगा कि कोई बोलना चाहेगा तो वो इशारा करेंगे नहीं नहीं नहीं, दे आर नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट। सो इस चीज़ को चेंज करना है, वी हैव टू चेंज इट। एंड इन आवर कॉलेज थैंकफुली it is it has been started to change this. Yesterday our respected principal held the inter-house declamation contest in which the students get the chance to speak. So this should be done everywhere, in every college, in every government college, in every university. This way students will learn how to communicate not only among themselves, with other people, with outside the world, outside their colleges. And more I would like to say the online skills, as I mentioned before, the crypto, the Bitcoin, how to trade. So these skills should be taught, I would again say, and that's all.
Okay.
The skills.
Thank you so much. Okay, Gulmina.
Actually, I'd like to designate this question to appear.
Yeah,
Imran,
sure.
if you could please.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. So there are like multiple काफ़ी ज़्यादा इस तरह के इश्यूज देखे जाते हैं हमारी कंट्री में, जिसके लिए ये लोग कहते हैं कि इसको ग्रो किया जाए। ग्रो के काफ़ी तरीके हैं अगर उस पर फोकस किया जाए। सबसे पहला काम तो ये है, हमारी कंट्री में बहुत ज़्यादा जिन चीज़ों को लीगलाइज करने की ज़रूरत है, फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे ट्रेडिंग के बारे में बात की गई थी। एक तरफ से हमारी कंट्री ये कहती है कि भाई आप लोग साथ काम करो ताकि हमारी जीडीपी, हमारा इकोनॉमी ग्रो कर सके। भाई अगर उनको अपॉर्चुनिटी दी जाएगी तो वो लोग काम कर सकेंगे ना। यहाँ पे कोई ना कोई स्टैंड लेता है इस बारे में, उसके ऊपर या तो केस कर दिया जाता है या उसको बंद कर दिया जाता है कहीं ना कहीं पे। तो रादर देन उनके ऊपर केसेस फेंकने से, उनको अगर थोड़ा सा सपोर्ट किया जाए कि वो लोग अपने आप को बेहतर कर सकें, अपनी कंट्री को बेहतर कर सकें। बाहर से पैसे आएंगे तो यहाँ पे कुछ ना कुछ नया डेवलप हो सकेगा ना। हम आज भी या तो सर सैयद अहमद खान की किताबों के अंदर फंसे हुए हैं, या हम लोग जो है यूजर्स जिसको जैसे हिस्ट्री वगैरह कह लो उसके अंदर ही फंसे हुए हैं। तो रादर देन स्टडिंग दैट, हमें अगर आज की चीज़ें पढ़ाई जाएँ तो जेन ज़ी के पास बहुत अच्छा मौका है ग्रो करने का। इनके माइंड्स पिछली जनरेशन से काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग माने जाते हैं। तो इसके अलावा या दैट्स इट।
Okay, thank you. So if somebody is not listening to you, then you have to improve your communication skills, right? Then they will listen to you. Okay, I think that in Pakistan, we teach our students, kids, how to celebrate success, joy. But what we fail to teach them is how to face failure, how to respond to sadness, how to behave when you don't have opportunities, or how to differentiate between temper and anger. So ultimately, with the basic, जो traditional human skills थी, they were IQ-based skills. Already artificial intelligence is rapidly taking over those skills. But what we have is, most of you talked about it, emotional intelligence. These are durable human skills. See, in the future, I think these skills will be more essential. We have to work on it. So recently World Economic Forum also surveyed their employees that what skills they do want to see in their employees. So top 10 were based on emotional intelligence competencies, that is leadership, empathy and listening, where you talked about it, and then self-grooming, self-development, and also how do you communicate with others. So work on these emotional intelligence, because these are the durable human skills, hard skills we also call them, that AI cannot replace you in this. So that's my message, that invest in yourself, develop yourself, work for yourself, and work for Pakistan. Okay, now we have already passed time, so I would like to invite Mr. Imran Chitala for the takeaways. And from now on, I would like to invite first Khalid Banoori Saab to say a few words and invite the other speakers to the stage. Khalid Banoori Saab.
I went back into time. I was recalling in my younger days when we would be asked to do extempore speeches. They will just ask you, take the slip and go up on the stage, and you look at it while you almost reach the stage and say, Ya Allah, what do I do? What do I say now? And the easiest way I found was to become a storyteller. So I would start with a story and I'll continue to think, what do I say next? So that's how it started to evolve. Whether communication skills, emotional intelligence, mental health, all of the above are relevant to this discussion. So we've heard several views. I did try to take some notes. I noted 40 points out of whatever came you and your predecessors. And I hope that I'll be able to reflect on some and see how this starts to work. Now, all good things come towards an end, not ending right now. This is the takeaways. And it's my pleasure to invite my friend and just above millennials, just above the Gen Z, a young millennial, Abdul Waris Hamid, to do his takeaways. We will have 3 takeaways opinions, 2 short ones, and then we'll go to the third one. So, Abdul Waris Hamid, please, you're next. And you have 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes, sir.
Sure. Thank you so much, Khalid sir. Sorry. So, बात ये है कि हम यहाँ आज इकट्ठे क्यों हुए हैं, क्योंकि कुछ लोगों को लगता है, जिस तरह खालिद साहब ने अपनी स्टार्टिंग स्पीच में कहा था, कि जेन जी इज़ द प्रॉब्लम, एंड उनसे ये एक्सपेक्ट करना कि वो दिल बी द चेंज एजेंट ऑफ चेंज इज़ नॉट द राइट वे टू गो अबाउट इट. और अहमदुद्दीन कासमी ने कई दहाइयाँ पहले ये कहा था कि ये इर्तका का चलन है कि हर ज़माने में पुराने इंसान नए आदमी से डरते थे. सो ये जो एक नोशन है कि जेन जी इज़ द प्रॉब्लम, ये एक नेचुरल नोशन है. दिस हैज़ कम विद एवरी जनरेशन. इट विल, शायद आप भी डरेंगे जब आपकी आएगी. और 30 साल बाद के पाकिस्तान की आप बात कर रहे हैं, तो रिमेंबर कि उनके बुज़ुर्ग आप होंगे, हम नहीं होंगे, आप लोग उनके बुज़ुर्ग होंगे. सो अ लॉट वुड बी ऑन यू, एज सैरिश वाज सेइंग अगेन एंड अगेन, कि आपको खुद सोचना है इस बारे में कि the kind of Pakistan you're imagining. But then there are few people who think that Gen Z can become agents of change. People like Ikram Sehgal Saab and this having us here, every one of us here, trying to discuss this. People like Khalid Banoori Saab, who were committed to the cause that this generation is the generation of change, and this is what is the Pakistan's pivot point, and they'll take Pakistan upwards from this point, inshallah, onwards. A few takeaways जो मैंने लिए हैं, एज खालिद साहब सेड, I'll stick to 3 major takeaways. तो एक बात तो जो बहुत खुल के सामने आई आर द सोशो पॉलिटिकल सर्कमस्टांसेस जिसमें ये जनरेशन पल रही है और फूल रही है, जिसमें इन्होंने आंख खोली है. आई डोंट वांट टू बॉदर यू विद अनदर वन, बट याद आ रहा है कि ज़फ़र इकबाल का शेर है कि कागज़ के फूल सर पर सजाकर चली हयात, पहुंची बरूने शहर तो बारिश ने आ लिया. ये अभी बिल्कुल नौमौलूद ही थे, तो 9/11 से भी बाद के हैं. तो तो 9/11 तो हो चुका था, जब ये आए तो 9/11 के बाद का दुनिया बन चुकी थी। उसके बाद टेक्नोलॉजिकल इनोवेशन आई, अर्बन फ्लडिंग्स होना शुरू हो गई, हीट वेव्स आ रही हैं, टेक्नोलॉजिकल वॉरफेयर चल रहा है और लॉ बेस्ड जो ग्लोबल ऑर्डर है उसके भी परखचे उड़ रहे हैं। सो दिस जनरेशन हैज़ सीन अ लॉट। एटलीस्ट मिलेनियल्स ने वो बहुत उस तरह नहीं देखा जिस तरह ये देख रहे हैं, प्लस इन्फॉर्मेशन इतनी ज़्यादा है कि वो है। तो जो सोशो पॉलिटिकल इन्वायरमेंट है जिसमें ये ग्रूम हुए हैं, दे ऑब्वियसली आर वेरी मच अवेयर ऑफ इट, एंड एवरीवन हैज़ टॉक्ड अबाउट क्लाइमेट चेंज एंड देयर फ्यूचर डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट वी डू टुडे, बिकॉज क्लाइमेट चेंज थ्रेट बहुत इमिनेंट है, बहुत रियल है। सो हमें सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट पाथवेज को एक्सप्लोर करना है। दूसरी बात जो बहुत बड़ा टेक अवे है, आई थिंक इट्स अ लेसन फॉर एकेडमिक्स लाइक मी, डॉक्टर सलमा, लॉट मैनी पीपल, कि एजुकेशन सिस्टम से ऐलान बरात कर दिया गया है। स्टूडेंट्स हैव टेक्निकली गिवन अप ऑन द एजुकेशन सिस्टम एंड दे थिंक दैट एजुकेशन सिस्टम जिनको प्रोवाइड किया जा रहा है इट्स रॉटन, इट डज़ नॉट आंसर द चैलेंजेस जो आने वाले वक्त में। एजुकेशन का काम अपने से 10 साल 20 साल आगे देखना होता है, और जिस तरह आप कहा कि जी माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वो जो ऑफिस है उसका इंटरफेस भी कागज़ पे बना के कहा जाता है कि दैट्स योर एग्ज़ाम एंड दैट्स हाउ यू डू इट। और तीसरी जो बड़ी चीज़ थी, एंड आई एम हैप्पी दैट दे आइडेंटिफाइड इट देमसेल्व्स, इज़ कम्युनिकेशन। कि कम्युनिकेशन की दो चीज़ें हैं। एक तो ये कम्युनिकेट नहीं कर पा रहे, जो उन्होंने खुद भी कहा कि वी आर नॉट एबल टू वॉइस आवरसेल्व्स in a good way so that everyone listens, but again it also comes down to opportunities कितनी। लास्ट जो हमारे यहाँ पे सेशन हुआ था उसमें खालिद साहब गेव एक नोट उन्होंने दिया कि जब मैं पहले मिलेनियल्स से जब मैं पढ़ाता था उनको, तो उनसे पूछता था कि आप बड़े होके क्या बनेंगे, या वेयर डू यू सी योरसेल्फ इन 10 years, तो वो कहते थे कि हमें नहीं पता, या कोई इतनी एलेबरेट उनकी थिंकिंग नहीं थी। बट इस जनरेशन से जब हम पूछते हैं तो दे हैव अ होल पाथवे। तो व्हाइल वी वर डिस्कसिंग दिस आफ्टरवर्ड्स, तो मैंने कहा कि सर आप ये भी तो देखें ना कि मिलेनियल से तो कभी किसी ने पूछा भी नहीं था कि आप क्या बनना चाहते हैं, तो उन्होंने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था, तो उनके पास जवाब भी नहीं था। इस नस्ल से अब आप पूछेंगे ना पूछें, बट सोशल मीडिया हैज़ गिवन देम इनफ रूम टू थिंक अबाउट ऑल्टरनेट करियर्स, ऑल्टरनेट प्रोफेशंस, गेटिंग अवे फ्रॉम स्पेशलाइज्ड प्रोफेशंस जो हम करियर की बात करते हैं। तो माय 3 takeaways इज जो एज आइडेंटिफाइड बाय दीज यंग एंड ब्राइट पीपल इज that systems, and that include both political, social, educational system, has failed them in a lot of ways. Degrees are not worth जितना वो आपसे खर्चा करवा रही हैं उसके, तो मतलब आप कितने साल नौकरियां करेंगे तो जाके वो ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट भी नहीं आता। So let alone move progressing. So yeah. So and the last takeaway is that time's up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abdul Waris Hamid. Waris is not only that he's at University of Lahore doing a lot of research work. He's the latest recipient of Kodikara Award from RCSS Sri Lanka, and we have a former ambassador from there sitting here. So, and he is also one of the major stakeholders in holding annual youth conferences that deal with university students' foreign policy exposure and making foreign policy. It's my pleasure to call our next guest, Imran Jatala, who is the founder of the National Incubation Center for Aerospace Technologies, NICAT, an eminent figure in the global innovation landscape. He's a passionate advocate for innovation. He's been instrumental in leading large-scale innovation programs across Pakistan and MENA region. He runs his own company and has reportedly guided more than 700 startups. The introduction goes on, but let me just invite Imran Jatala to shift like that. You also have 5 minutes, sir. I'll be.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you very much Sir Khalid and Dr. Salma for this opportunity. मैंने notes बनाए काफ़ी सारे, but I'll religiously try कि मैं इसको follow ना करूँ, because I am a professional troublemaker. I work with youth. और मेरी inclination ज़्यादा Gen Z की तरफ है. I am a millennial. I'm in between those who are fading out and those who are taking over. और since हम youth development programs run करते हैं, और आपके साथ ही काम करते हैं, आपसे सीखना चाहते हैं, तो मेरी ज़्यादा इंक्लिनेशन आपकी तरफ है। मैं चाहूँगा कुछ थोड़ा सा आपसे बात करें और थोड़ा सा अदर हाफ से, so that's how I split my time. जेन जी को अगर हमने समझना हो, और जो मैं आज सुन के सुपर इम्प्रेसिव ईच वन ऑफ यू, तीन चीज़ें अगर तीन मेन करेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं जो कि लार्जली इनमें हैं। वन, दे आर डिजिटल नेटिव, दे वर बॉर्न विद द इंटरनेट, और इंटरनेट एक्सप्लोजन के साथ ही ग्रो किए। सेकेंड, दे आर हाइपर अवेयर, दे हैव सो मेनी सोर्सेज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन। बीइंग अ 90s kid, I cannot imagine कि एक टीवी चैनल, एक रेडियो के साथ आप ग्रो कर रहे हो, तो इनके पास तो there are thousands of sources, and Twitter now is the fastest source of news, और जो कोई सेंसर भी नहीं कर सकता। स्टेट मीडिया बहुत कंट्रोल्ड होता है, वो हमें लिमिटेड इंफॉर्मेशन देता था, एक चैनल, बट यू हैव अनलिमिटेड एक्सेस टू इंफॉर्मेशन। एंड लास्ट, दे आर इनोवेशन ड्रिवन, they are challenging status quo, they want to change things, and that's a superpower this generation has, and I'm really happy कि हमसे आगे आने वाले लोग हमसे बहुत अच्छे हैं। They're thinking with the right mindset, they have the tools, और अगर हम और हमसे पहले वाले थोड़ा सा इनको बेहतर हेल्प कर सकें, तो trust me, Pakistan will be an amazing country 30 years down the line. We can be a regional superpower, we can be a superpower, we can be a power to reckon with. पाकिस्तानियत की बात की यहाँ किसी ने, I myself am being a student of philosophy of history. किसी ने ये भी मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा बात की, philosophy of maths नहीं पढ़ाते, तो मैं by passion I'm a student of philosophy of history. Mehergarh, Balochistan is the oldest civilization in the world. It's 7000 BC. दुनिया में कहीं चले जाएं इससे पुरानी civilization नहीं है. Indus Valley is 5000 years old. अगर हम मेहरगढ़ की बात करें तो that's 9000 years. हमसे पुरानी civilization ही नहीं है दुनिया में. Year 1800, subcontinent was 25% of global GDP. This was the superpower. We have been a superpower. Realize this, and we can become once again. ये पावर आपके पास है. किसी को मत डिक्टेट करने दें, आपको ये बताए कि पाकिस्तान की हिस्ट्री नहीं है, पाकिस्तानियत क्या है. Know this, find out. आज तो आप just write a good prompt और सारा कुछ एक टाइमलाइन में, एक रीड में मिल जाएगा. And don't be afraid of AI. कुछ नहीं करेगी AI. AI सिंपली आपको एम्पावर करेगी. जिस तरह एक स्मार्टफोन ने आपको स्मार्टर बनाया है, AI फर्दर आपको स्मार्ट कर देगी. और आपको AI एल्गोरिदम्स नहीं सीखने हैं. तो यहाँ पे कह रहा था AI एल्गोरिदम्स, आपको सिर्फ एक अच्छा सवाल पूछना है AI से, and that's a prompt. Prompt engineering क्या है? It's simply a good question. So आपने critically एक चीज को एनालाइज करना है, critical thinking, and just write a good question. And AI will answer that. AI will build things for you, and you can change things, and you can build things, and you can make Pakistan a better Pakistan. मेरे अपने बच्चे जेन अल्फा में आते हैं, so I'm learning from them always. मेरी सबसे छोटी बेटी को मैंने कहा बेटा, ये मैंने उसको इंदिरा नोई पेप्सी की CEO है रही हैं, तो मैंने कहा बेटा आई वांट यू टू बिकम ए CEO लाइक पेप्सी की CEO. तो वो मुझे कहती नहीं बाबा ना, आई वांट टू बिकम ए CEO ऑफ मिरिंडा. सो वी आर लर्निंग फ्रॉम द जनरेशन. माय टाइम इज अप. Probably I would say we are the last of the dinosaurs कि हम पिछली जनरेशन से बैटन लेके अगली जनरेशन को पास ऑन कर रहे हैं. हम एनालॉग और डिजिटल के दरमियान ब्रिज हैं. और वो इलामा इकबाल की लाइन है कि खिरत को गुलामी से आज़ाद कर, जवानों को पीरों का उस्ताद कर. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you very much. Um, this was already expected from what you will do. Thank you very much for that. So I have four more people before we end this session. I have Gen X, I have Gen Z, I have probably a boomer, and then we go for the closing remarks. So these four, bear with me. My pleasure to request Dr. Huma Bakai, the rector of MIT University, and also the vice president of the Karachi Council of Foreign Relations, to give her reflections. I dare not give her any time limit, but I hope that she will not take more than 10. Let's see. Welcome, madam.
I'm the baby boomer he was talking about. You know, I may be that, but I have worked with the youth, so to say, for the last 30 years now. And despite that, the sessions today were a wake-up call for me. I thought I knew all of this, but my reflections would largely be on Gen Z that is struggling in Pakistan, the patriarchal society, the restrictive society, the society that refuses to respond to the changing global environment. And that is why all that I heard in the two sessions, to me, it was like an SOS. It was a signal of stress that these young, intelligent, informed, may not be as educated, but informed people giving you, us, and Pakistan, that if we do not change track, they will reject us. And some of them actually said, we will leave. We are striving to leave. We know that we heard this very depressing report that millions of children, young productive people are leaving this country. They do not see a future in this country. Post this report came out, I was in a meeting in HEC. And they conveniently said that we should not be worried about it because they bring remittance. Our exchange view is pathetic. Remittance is not even close to what these people can bring to this country. And to imagine that remittance is a replacement for brain power is just rejecting what 2030 is going to be, what 2026 is going to be. Because there is an international consensus that material wealth is becoming irrelevant and knowledge will generate material wealth. So unless you keep pace with knowledge, you cannot compete in this world. And by the way, knowledge is also not information. Gen Z is completely lost with the information overload. It is the ability to do deductive logic. It is our job, our duty, to tell them that is how you do deductive logic. You know, I was in Davos and there was an American scholar who was making a comment on Pakistan, and he said, you know, in this country, for Pakistan, he said, and by the way, he's a friend of Pakistan, and thus he was invited to Davos. He said there should be a moratorium on the world potential. We should, for 10 years, we should stop using the word Pakistan has potential. Because for 80 years, Pakistan is going to turn 80, I'm not 80. I've been hearing the word potential. When my students are not doing well, I call them to my office and I say, you have a lot of potential. So essentially, when we say Pakistan has potential, we are saying Pakistan is not doing well. And Pakistan is not doing well because we are not treating this generation right. And now it is exploding in our faces. That is the reality of it. ये एक डॉक्यूमेंट था जो मुझे उसमें फाइल में से मिला जो पाथफाइंडर ग्रुप ने और सीटाडेल ने फॉरवर्ड किया था. मेरा ख्याल था मैं इसके बारे में कल बात करूंगी, लेकिन मेरा दिल चाह रहा है कि मैं आज भी बात करूं. You know, it says that 78% Pakistani employees are dissatisfied with the university graduates. तकरीबन 80% employees पाकिस्तानी graduates से खुश नहीं हैं. Graduate unemployment rate is in Pakistan is 16.5%, जिसका मतलब है कि 500,000, एक तो ग्रेजुएट बन जाते नहीं है, हमारे बच्चे तो स्कूलों से ही बाहर हैं, लेकिन जो ग्रेजुएट बन जाते हैं उनमें से 500,000 अनएम्प्लॉयड और 1.5 million students are enrolled per year in the universities. Pakistan needs 2 million jobs annually as per UNDP. हम इतनी नौकरियां ही नहीं पैदा कर रहे हैं जितने ग्रेजुएट्स पैदा कर रहे हैं, और फिर ऐसे ग्रेजुएट्स पैदा कर रहे हैं और उनको ऐसी डिग्रीज दे रहे हैं. Somebody said, what is the degree worth? I'm saying the degree is not worth the paper it's written on. That is the worth of the degrees we are churning out, all because of what we have done with education. तो जो SOS था ना आज, वो बिल्कुल साफ और वाज़ेह था. वो SOS ये था कि please change the classroom. Please change the method of teaching. Please, मैं टर्शरी लेवल पे पढ़ाती हूँ, मेरे पढ़ाया सारी उम्र, अभी 2 साल से नहीं पढ़ा रही हूँ. हमने अज्यूम किया है कि PhDs अच्छे टीचर्स हैं, PhDs अच्छे रिसर्चर्स हैं. PhDs को पढ़ाना नहीं आता. और with all due respect to all the PhDs sitting here, I'm also a PhD. But I had to learn how to teach, come to the level of the student, listening to him, talk to him in the language he understands. आप करें, हम आपको soft skills नहीं सिखा रहे, हमें soft skills नहीं आती आपसे बात करने के लिए. That is essentially the real problem. So I'm going to end this particular paradigm here. जो आज हमसे इन बच्चों ने बात की वो SOS था, और अगर हमने इस SOS को respond नहीं किया तो we will lose out on a generation. It is already happening. दूसरी बात जो हर जगह सामने आई वो मेंटल हेल्थ थी, और मेंटल हेल्थ पे मैंने पढ़े लिखे घरों में काय को पीर को बुला के दम करवा दो. ये मैं पढ़े लिखे घरों की बात कर रही हूँ. बच्चे से कहते हैं नमाजें पढ़ना शुरू कर दो और दरूद शरीफ पढ़ो. सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा है, नमाज भी पढ़िए, दरूद शरीफ भी पढ़िए, पीर को दिल चाहे तो बुलाइए, मेरा ख्याल है ना बुलाइए. बट अगर बच्चे का हाथ टूट जाता है तो क्या आप दरूद शरीफ पढ़ के और नमाज पढ़ के हाथ जोड़ देते हैं? क्योंकि मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज आर रियल. देयर आर केमिकल चेंजेस इन द हेड दैट नीड टू बी एड्रेस्ड विद मेडिकल इंटरवेंशन एंड काउंसलिंग. तो मुझे आप लोगों से एक बात कहनी है. आई एम अवेयर ऑफ सेवरल ऑप्शंस नाउ. डोंट वेट फॉर योर फादर, योर मदर, or your even schools to take you to mental health assistance. Do it yourself. It is healthy, it is intelligent, it is the way forward. Mental health and anxiety are real issues. People die of it. And finally, I think this is also was referred to, you know, more people in this world die because of bad politics than because of bad science. Gaza is a pertinent example. It is bad politics that kills people. It's not bad science. So I will ask this generation to participate in politics. Because when you allow those people to make the policies for tomorrow who do not have your interests at stake, you give it in the hands of other people, you don't have a right to complain. But come out and vote. I don't know if voting matters in Pakistan, but please, and I don't want to get political here, and I don't want Ikram Sehgal to get in trouble. So, but I think that you should take up politics. It's critical to have politics. Now we have a move in Pakistan. We are making it mandatory for women to be in corridors of power and on board tables, in boardrooms. It is now becoming mandatory for the corporate sector. It is already mandatory in India, and I'm not giving other examples. When they initiated women to be on the boardrooms in India, they said, इतनी औरतें ही नहीं हैं, इतनी पढ़ी लिखी औरतें नहीं हैं, इतनी पढ़ी लिखी औरतें हैं. आप उनको बोर्डरूम में लाने से डरते हैं, क्योंकि वो आपका पेट्रियार्कल फ्रेमवर्क तोड़ देंगी. बिल्कुल इसी तरह हर पॉलिसी मेकिंग टेबल पर जेन जी की रिप्रेजेंटेशन होनी चाहिए. जब तक आपका इनपुट नहीं आएगा, जब तक आप इसी तरह के एसओएस देते रहेंगे और वो जाया जाते रहेंगे. सो आई एक्चुअली कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट इकराम सहगल साहब एंड ऑल द अदर्स हु आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर डायलॉग, क्योंकि हमने कम से कम बात तो करना शुरू की है कि आप अहम हैं और आपकी बात हम सुनना चाहते हैं और आपकी बात फैक्टर इन करना चाहते हैं. I don't want to sort of, really overstep my time. There were critical issues raised, issues of identity, issues of mental health, issues of classroom teaching. But I think it's, at the end of the day, it is all linked to the construct of my generation struggling to understand your generation. And the worst thing is that this generation now thinks that it is pointless to talk to the parents, it is pointless to talk to the teacher, it is pointless to talk to people who are making policies, because हमारी तो कोई बात सुनता ही नहीं है, तो हम अपना रास्ता निकालेंगे. जब ये बगैर गाइडेंस के अपना रास्ता निकालेंगे, तो फिर गिरेंगे और चोट लगेगी और फिर हम सबको बहुत दुख होगा. तो हमें इनको थोड़ा सा संभालना है. Universities, the new trend is we don't have to go to the universities. I'd like you to come to the university. I had one. And universities are critical because they groom you. Curriculums are outdated. But we live in a system or in times when there are open MOOCs. तो मैं ये कहती हूँ, ये मैं आप सबसे कहती हूँ, अगर आपको प्यास है नॉलेज की, तो आपके पास बहुत ऑप्शंस हैं. आपकी टीचर अच्छा नहीं पढ़ाता, आप MIT के, हार्वर्ड के फ्री कोर्सेज जाके पढ़ सकते हैं. आप पढ़ नहीं रहे, आप सीख नहीं कर रहे नॉलेज, थोड़ी सी गलती आपकी भी है. टीचर्स अच्छे होते हैं, टीचर्स बुरे होते हैं, बट यू नीड टू मेक श्योर दैट यू गेट वेयर यू वांट टू गेट, एंड देयर इज ऑलवेज अ वे टू डू इट. व्हाई? बिकॉज वी टॉक्ड अबाउट 2030. What will be rewarded in 2030? 2030 will reward you, and it has already happened. It will reward you with excellence. Excellence will always be rewarded. So seek that. I don't care if you become a chef, you become a singer, you become a gaming expert, whatever in the world. But essentially, I'm done. Essentially, all you have to do is pursue excellence, and the world is yours. And Pakistan will not be able to revive, minus the potential, unless you take it in your hands. Thank you so much.
Brilliant as always, and even in a situation where my students are not even here, a lot of clapping. Thank you for all those comments. One takeaway that something that Huma said, हम आपकी बात सुन रहे हैं. We are listening to you. So it won't be complete till we hear Gen Z. Amani Sehgal, you have the floor, madam.
Well, on behalf of Providentia Books, I just want to thank everyone who came to speak today, especially all the panelists. These two sessions were very insightful and informative and aligned with a lot of Providentia Books' goals, so thank you, everyone.
It is my pleasure to now invite Mir Amir Masood, the a very eminent educationist and former Minister of Education, Punjab, to talk to us about his reflections about what he's heard and anything that we can learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Thank you for a big surprise. I didn't know that I had to, say something here. It has been an excellent program, very fine panelists. Speakers were amazing. I'd like to recognize Ikram Sehgal sir. Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful arrangement. I never knew that we had such a big facility at Anguri and at Amani Bar. It has been an excellent discussion. Huma said that politics mein aana chahiye. I have contested 8 elections and I have been returned 5 times as a member of the Provincial Assembly. I've been a minister for many years, Minister for Education. I have seen the education department in and out, up and down, and I've scanned the entire sector for many years. In 1997, I was the chairman of a task force which was assigned by the Chief Minister, Mr. Mian Shehbaz Sharif, who is currently the Prime Minister of Pakistan. You won't imagine that the education department of Punjab, which is one of the most humongous departments, we're talking about 63,000 schools, about more than 700,000 people working in this department, 12.8 million students. Highest dropout rate in the world is in Pakistan, Punjab. Highest dropout rate. 40 lakh bacha goes back to their homes. Nobody knows why, when, where. Kyun ye log jate hain? Biggest challenge ever. On top of these things, like a high dropout, a very low enrollment rate, and a very decreasing enrollment rate in the girls' education, then comes the cheating, booty mafia, paper out ho jana, nakle, practical mein number. I'm talking about 1997. उसके ऊपर जो टॉपिंग जो है वो इस चीज़ की है कि घोस्ट स्कूल्स पकड़े थे मैंने 1997. Pakistan Army ने did a very big survey. They went to each and every school of Punjab. It was such a big shocker that we came to know that 20,000 जाली टीचर जो है वो महकमा तालीम में काम कर रहा है. 22,000 टीचर जो है वो डाउटफुल है, जिसकी डिग्रीज जो है वो डाउटफुल है, और 5,495 जो है वो ghost schools हैं. You have those schools in the registers, but when you go down to the grassroots level, there are no schools. And on the account of those ghost schools, 2.8 billion rupees were being pilfered because उनके जरिए वो enrollment करते थे. तो मुझे मियाँ शहबाज ने कहा कि क्लेंस कर दो डिपार्टमेंट को, साफ कर दो और इनको जो है टर्मिनेट कर दो सारे बंदों. अब सरकारी बंदे को टर्मिनेट करना इज अ बिग इशू. टू मैनी ऑफ रूल्स. उस जमाने में END रूल्स होते थे, आजकल पीडा है, शो कॉज, उसके बाद पर्सनल हेयरिंग, फिर हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट. सो इट वाज अ ह्यूमंगस टास्क. तो मैं ज़्यादा आप लोगों को परेशान नहीं करना चाहता. Then I became a minister, policy making. Now I'm heading a university as a vice chancellor, University of South Asia. I have the blend of public and private both. 4 चीज़ों पे आपसे बस बात करनी है, takeaways की बात करते हैं. I want to give hope to our children. I want to give happiness to our youth. Gen Zers जो बैठे हुए हैं, hope और happiness जो है, that is very important. और तीसरी बात ये है कि जिन इदारों ने पढ़ाना है आप लोगों को, यूनिवर्सिटीज़ ने, भाई उनको ऑटोनॉमी तो दो पहले. You give them a charter through a parliament. You give them autonomy through a legislation backed up by the law. You got a federal charter, we got a provincial charter. ये कानून है पाकिस्तान का कि यूनिवर्सिटी जो है वो असेंबलियों से बनती है. उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि यूनिवर्सिटीज़ आर गोइंग टू बी टोटली ऑटोनमस, आप अपना करिकुला लिखें, बनाएं, पढ़ाएं, आपने कोई नई चीज़ बनानी है. But it is a total control of curricula, a total control on the autonomy of the public and the private sector. हम ये भी नहीं कहते कि आप बिल्कुल ही आज़ाद कर दें यूनिवर्सिटियों को कि वो जाली डिग्रियां वो देते रहें. But there's a big confusion. कंफ्यूजन ये है कि आज भी पाकिस्तान के एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट में ये नहीं पता कि मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन क्या रखना है हमने. इज गोइंग टू बी उर्दू और इज गोइंग टू बी इंग्लिश. हमारे मुआशरे में इंग्लिश मीडियम और उर्दू मीडियम का बहुत मुकाबला है. तो मैंने कहा भाई 63,000 स्कूल जो है सारे इंग्लिश मीडियम हम कर देते हैं. बैक इन 2002 वो हमने किए, हमने बायलिंगुअल किया उसको. लास्ट गवर्नमेंट अभी आई, उन्होंने कहा जी सिंगल नेशनल करिकुला, वन नेशन वन बुक. ये चारों सूबों में एक ही किताब लगेगी, पहली से 10वीं, 10वीं से 12वीं, उसका एक ही निसाब होगा, वो टोटल उर्दू मीडियम होगा. तो हमने कहा सर ये मत करें, अंग्रेज़ी एक नेसेसिटी है हमारी, तो आप बायलिंगुअल कर दें. बहरहाल वो भी किया. तो आज भी हम मैट्रिक जो है वो कभी कहते हैं 9वीं 10वीं करवा लो अलहदा, कभी कहते हैं इकट्ठे करवा लो, 11वीं 12वीं वो भी कभी कहते हैं अलहदा करा लो, कभी इकट्ठी करा लो. So too much of experiments. We'll have to get rid of these experiments. We'll have to give future to our children. They have a lot of talent. हमें इनको हर किस्म का enabling environment हमें देना है. And please start respecting the private sector. ये मेरा मैसेज है गवर्नमेंट को. मैं दोनों तरफ काम करता हूँ. I'm a bridge between the public and the private sector. But 2 minutes. I represent the private sector of Pakistan. I'm the chief spokesperson of the Association of Private Sector. So I keep tell all these regulators, policymakers, HEC, PHEC, HED, council, blah blah, you name it and we have it there. तो ये कहते हैं कि भाई ये एंड प्रोडक्ट हमारा ये है, ये बच्चे जो हैं, इनको आपने हर किस्म की आर्ट ऑफ टीचिंग, इनको क्लासरूम इफेक्ट, इनको लैब्स हमने देने हैं, हमने टूल्स देने हैं. सो मैं प्रॉब्लम यह है कि टाइम बड़ा कम है. द पॉइंट दैट आई वांट टू मेक हियर कि बहुत ज़्यादा हमारे बच्चे इंटेलिजेंट हैं. उनका क्या कसूर है जो 2.5 करोड़ बच्चा बाहर है? उसका क्या करना है जो जेन जी है लेकिन वो ड्रॉप आउट है, जेन जी है लेकिन आउट ऑफ स्कूल है? ये लोग तो अमीर बच्चे हैं, इनके माँ बाप तो अफोर्ड करते हैं बड़ी ज़बरदस्त फीस. उनका सोचें जिनके पास फीस नहीं है. दैट इज़ अ बिग बिग रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. उन बच्चियों को सोचें जिनको 6-8 ग्रेड से हमारे सदर्न पंजाब में पुल आउट करते हैं. चलो घर का काम करो, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं पढ़ने की. तो हमने उन्हें इंसेंटिव दिया, हमने फ्री एजुकेशन कर डाला लास्ट मिनट, हमने उनको फ्री बुक्स दे दी, हमने उनको स्टाइपेंड दे दी. हमने कहा भी खुदारा स्कूल में तो आओ. तो 42% से 62 पे पंजाब पहुंच गया 5 years. थर्ड पार्टी की उसने, वर्ल्ड बैंक ने इसको इवेलुएट किया. तो बात ये है कि ये हम सब की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है पब्लिक प्राइवेट सेक्टर की, हम अपने यूथ को होप, हैप्पीनेस, कंड्यूसिव एनवायरनमेंट दें और हमारी जो आर्ट ऑफ टीचिंग है वो एक्सलेंट होनी चाहिए. थैंक यू मच.
There's a decorum of this. Thank you so much for impromptu speech, and that's very, very useful. And I really am struck with this notion of happiness about creating that environment so that happy teams working on those. My absolute pleasure to invite Mr. Zarar Saigal for his closing remarks. Zarar is a partner at Clifford Chance LLP, possibly the world's largest firm in the world. He serves as the global head of transport and logistics and head of banking and finance group for the Americas, also the co-head of the New York Asset Finance Group. He is a young global leader at the World Economic Forum since 2010, and he has been recognized as one of the top aviation finance lawyers in the US, inducted into the Legal 500 Hall of Fame. The Law Chambers USA has consistently adjudged him as one of the top 10 lawyers in the US in his area of expertise. Besides his distinguished legal career, Zarar Saigal is the chairman of the Pathfinder Group, employing over 12,000 people in Pakistan, a driving force behind the Asan Mobile Account initiative, revolutionizing the financial inclusion of millions of unbanked Pakistanis and empowering women financially. Mr. Zarar Saigal, you have the floor.
Thank you, Commodore. On behalf of the Pathfinder Group, I'd like to first of all thank all our guests for joining us today. It was an exceptionally great discussion, and obviously thanks to all our moderators. I don't know, Dr. Bakai, I think you're extended family at this stage, so I don't know if I should thank you, but thank you anyway. Dr. Malik, obviously thank you as well. Commodore, thank you for keeping this on schedule, and you did a fantastic job, and thank you to our speakers, but really thank you to our panelists. It was awe-inspiring to hear all of you speak, really impressive, and you know what, I think the word potential is still okay. I see a lot of potential over here, and I'm not afraid to use it. I think when I see all of you, I see a lot of potential, and I'm very proud to say that I see great future in all of you, and I'm not afraid to see it. I'm a card-carrying member of Generation X. You know, we were a simpler generation. We were taught capitalism is great, make money, be successful. It was a simpler time. The music was better. 80s music is much superior to the nonsense you guys have to hear these days, but that's maybe slightly biased. But you guys have it tougher. There's no doubt about it. It's much more complicated. But the one thing I think I find impressive is you are a fearless generation. You know, you're fearless about issues where we accepted the status quo and perhaps continue to accept the status quo. You are fearless on issues like climate change. You're fearless on issues on gender. You're fearless on Palestine, for example. And and you see it. In the darkness of politics, you see young lights emerging. In New York, we have a young man running for mayor, Zoran Mamdani. You can see it, the fearlessness of this young man where he's challenging norms. And so there are lights emerging, and I think the lights are emerging because of your generation, because you're empowering people like him and others as well, and so forth. So, and I think some of the issues you're struggling with, and there are people in this audience who know more about artificial intelligence than a lawyer like me will ever claim to know. It's not just in education. Everybody's struggling with them. In the legal field, a document that used to take me 10 days of day and night of hard work to draft, an associate of mine drafts it in 5 seconds and then takes 2 days to bring it to me. So radiologists, who used to stare at an X-ray or an MRI for a day, and a program will do that for him, and radiology will be gone in a matter of years. It'll be a program that'll be. So I think there are entire fields that will be different in 30 years. So I don't think it's just the education field that is being changed by technology. All I would say is never fear technology, embrace it. It can only help you. So again, on behalf of the Pathfinder Group, on behalf of Providentia, on behalf of, I know VRG was mentioned as well, the Asan mobile account, which is changing the lives of the unbanked in Pakistan and continues to change the lives of unbanked in Pakistan. And you'll see more and more new products that we are bringing out, and how we are reaching areas in Pakistan that haven't been reached before. Thank you again to everybody, and on behalf of Ikram Sehgal, who will speak next, who I know does a lot, and I know has hosted these events before as well. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it. I would like to invite Mr. Sehgal to give the final words. Thank you.
I just want to personally thank all of you for being here. And what a great date for me that my granddaughter, who's just going to go to Cornell in a few days, is here. And I'm so grateful to you, Amani, for saying such nice words about me. It's important for a grandfather to hear that. And it's important for a grandfather to see, visions coming true. I'm
I don't claim to be a visionary, but I do see potential, unlike my very good friend, Huma. I do see potential. And let me tell you, I just want to, something said very nicely about the curriculum. You know, you will come to know. The first thing we did in Lawrence College as the managing committee, and you do not know as it yet, is we've got a school of excellence in innovation being set up separately, and a director of innovation being appointed separately. A director of innovation, other than the director of studies, a director of innovation will separate. And he will or she will work with the director of studies to improve the curriculum. Besides becoming an incubator and a place of excellence. And this place of excellence is going to be chrome and glass and absolutely brilliant. Of course, that you don't know about because you only see the swimming pool, but he's coming up. Right. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. And one of the things that you do when you have your own place is that you can keep the Molvi from Friday prayers hanging on for some time. so please, after this, there's Friday prayers up in the mosque. Those who want to go up and pray the prayers, in the meantime, those who don't, the food will be served up there. It's up to you. But even those who say the prayers, food will be there for them. Okay, thank you very much.